Good morning, Year 4. Welcome to Friday. Hooray, we've got to the end of the week and it's our last day on our area topic for the moment. We're going to start this morning, as always, with our mental starters, our warm-ups. We've got 4 questions, as always. Try and get as close to 5 minutes as you possibly can. 2 questions will require mental strategies. 2 questions will require probably pencil and pen. Press pause while you're working and press play when you're ready to carry on. Okay, first question we're going to look at this morning is 2/5 of 55. So if you remember back to yesterday, I said to find a fraction of a number, first thing we would do is divide the whole number, in this case 55, by the denominator, which is 5. So 55 divided by 5 is 11. Now that gives you 1/5. To find 2/5, simply times it by 2. So 11 times 2 is 22. So 2/5 of 55 will equal 22. Second question, 720 divided by 8. Now this question will need you to use known times table facts or division table times table facts. So first thing we're going to do, as always, cover the magic 0. This leaves us with 72 divided by 8, or how many 8s are in 72. So 72 divided by 8 equals 9. And we know that because 9 8s are 72. Finally, release the magic 0 and the answer will become 90. So 720 divided by 8 equals 90. Third question this morning, we're going to look at multiplication. You need to know your 8 times table for this particular question. First method, we're going to use, method 1, we're going to use short multiplication. So 6 8s are 48, carry the 1 over. 8 8s are 64, plus 4 would be 68, and again you need to carry that 6 across. And then 4 8s or 8 4s are 32, plus 6 will give 38. So our answer then would be 3,888. Secondly, we could partition if we wanted. So 400 plus 80 plus 6. 400 plus times 8 would be 3,200. 80 times 8 would be 640. And then 6 times 8 would be 48. And if we recombine those numbers, we get 3,888, which is the same as up here. And our final question for our warm-up this morning, 7,543, take away the mystery number, would equal 1,123. Simple, switch the order of the sentence. So move the known number into the equation and switch out the question mark. And then just do a straightforward subtraction. So 3 take 3 is 0, 4 take 2 is 2, 5 take 1 is 4, and 7 take 1 is 6. Nice and simple. Okay, so we are going to be having our final day on area this morning, as I mentioned earlier. And our learning intention this morning is to measure area of more challenging shapes. So they're a bit trickier this morning, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Our star words this morning, we've got measure, area, 2D shape, multiply, count, and units. I could have also had square units onto there as well if we wanted to. Okay, so our in focus task this morning, it says which of these 2 shapes has the largest area? And what I want to be thinking about this morning is what makes this tricky. So press pause now while you're looking and press play when you're ready to carry on. Okay, well, looking at these 2 shapes, ordinarily when you look at them, you think they'd be quite easy to find the area of. Okay, a simple rectangle, a simple square, but they are tricky because they're not flush with the lines. They are at an angle, aren't they? And that makes it much trickier because the distance across from corner to corner is different from the distance on the sides here. So we need to find a method that's going to help us to find the area of these 2 shapes. Okay, let's learn. Now, if we want to find the area of the first figure, okay, what we need to do is break the shape up, okay, And you can see over here that I need to break it up into whole squares and part squares, really. Okay. And what I've done here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 whole squares there already. And you can see that the young lady here has said that I've got 2 of these are 4 squares each. So we've got 4 plus 4 is 8, as I've just said. The second part we need to look at, we've got these half squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got each of those is a half square. So you get each of these corners here will make one whole square if they were added or rotated around together. So you'd have 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. And if we add them all together, that gives us 4. So far we've got 8 and we've got 4. So far we've got 12. Now that leaves us with these 2 larger triangles here. And if we were to put those 2 together, they'd be like one of these squares here. They'd be worth 4 squares. If I was to put that onto there, we would have a shape that would be 4 squares. So if I then add them all together, it would be 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 4 would equal 16. So the area of this triangle would be 16 squares. Now that looks quite tricky, but almost what you need to do at the beginning is break it up into manageable chunks. Okay, the area of the second shape is a bit trickier. Well, I say trickier. I think it just looks a bit trickier. What I would want you to do is, just like we did just now, find a shape in the middle where you can calculate the area nice and simply. So in here, if we were to divide the shape up into the squares here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know that this area of this shaded part here is 9 squares. What we need to do now is find the area of these parts here. Now, one trick we could do here is that actually these 2 here would fit together to make a rectangle. Now, if I was to rotate that one around and put it there, I would then have a rectangle that has 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. And I've got another part here. Okay, got another part here. So what I would then have would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 we already knew, the shaded part of this larger square here. I then have got 2 lots of 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 8. So 9 plus 8 would be 17 square units. And it's interesting that if you do pop those together, they do fit perfectly. It's one of the laws of geometry that for some reason they always fit together cleanly. Okay, now it's your turn. And what we want to see have a go at is whether or not you can do that. Now, some of these shapes, A and this one here, the purple rectangle, are nice and easy because they are straightforward shapes that lay on the lines. But these 3 here are not quite as easy, and we need to use the method that we've just used just now. Find whole squares where you can, and then add up the pieces around it. So press pause while you're having a little go at this, and press play when you're ready to continue. Okay, so the brown rectangle here is 4 units, 4 square units. The purple one is nice and simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3 is 12. The green one here would be 4 units. And the pink one here would be 8 units. It's now time for your independent learning. Can you please complete worksheet 6 on pages 113 and 114 of your workbook? Press pause when you're ready to work and press play when you're ready to move on. Okay, our plenary question this morning. The square here has an area of 4 square units. And we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2 times 2 equals 4. The young lady here thinks it's possible to find the area of these squares. That square is really important here. Okay, they're not rectangles, they're squares. So you'd need to think to yourself, how could I do it? Because there are chunks missing. Have a little look, have a little play, and see how you get on. I'll see you next week. We'll be starting a new topic. We'll be starting to look at geometry next week, shapes. Okay. Take care. Have a lovely weekend. Hopefully the sun shines continuously for you over the weekend. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.